What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, Stephen A. Smith put out his top five players who have the most pressure on them this postseason to perform, I guess, either uh, to individually perform well, to carry their teams deeper into the playoffs, I guess, with the absence of other players, or just personal redemption, right? And at number five, he had Klay Thompson. All right. Now the other players on his list, I believe number one was James Harden, number two Kyrie. Who else is on the list? Jimmy Butler, and I'm trying to remember the fourth player. I can't think of it right now, but not talking about him. But Clay was number five, and I understand to an extent what he's saying, but I, I think it's too early for that, man. Just because of the fact that we still have to remember Clay has only been back since January. This is 3 months from then. I'll say it's 3 months later, but this is a man that suffered from both an ACL tear and an Achilles rupture, back to back, which are potentially two career-ending injuries. And we've seen how long it took DeMarcus Cousins to come back from that type of injury. Okay, he had a series of serious injuries. It took him years to really come back and get to the point where he's relatively healthy. And he's not the same player. So yeah, if this was next year, and let's say Steph wasn't available, or even if Steph was available, I would agree with Clay being on the list. But already, I mean, look, from a career standpoint, Clay has nothing to prove. From an individual standpoint, yes, Clay, you want him to make the right strides, but he is not Klay Thompson yet. He's not the Klay Thompson of old. He's not. And I think it's unfair to put him on this goddamn list. I mean, what the fuck, man? Anyway, Klay has never been the main guy anyway. And to an extent, that's why some people think that he's slightly overrated, because even though Clay has been a major contributor, it's like, well, he's not Reggie Miller. He's never led a team. Okay, that's fair. But you can't expect him in a dilapidated state to all of a sudden become Reggie Miller. I think that's unfair, man. Yes, you want Clay to make strides. You want Clay to play like how he did 3, 4 years ago. But I think you're asking too much, Stephen A. Smith, for him to be, uh, the Klay Thompson from 2019. Hell, to be honest with you, there's a real distinct possibility that if you're the Golden State Warriors, if this is Clay's ceiling, like what we're seeing right now, which is a guy that can still give you on any given night 30 points, 20 points. Some nights he'll be off. Defensively, he's not what he once was. And you have Jordan Poole continue to develop, 23 years old. You might have to look at a future, because I think after next year, Jordan Poole is a free agent. I think he's a restricted free agent, but uh, you know, at the rate that he's going, they're not probably going to be able to match whatever with the other people locked in. They're not going to be able to match a prospective team's contract offer. You have to wonder, man. Do you move on from Klay? When I say move on from Klay, I don't mean trade him, but necessarily. But if Klay's not the same player, and if you're seeing Jordan Poole develop into a star, do you look at Klay and say, are you willing to be a player coming off the bench? Are you willing to play less minutes to help the team? But you know what I'm saying? That's to be neither here and there. That's for the future. But right now, I don't think Klay is a top 5 player who needs to prove himself. That's bull. If anything, Joel Embiid should be on that fucking list. Matter of fact, was he the other player? Because if he's not, Joel Embiid should have been the other player on that list. Not Klay Thompson. Joel Embiid ain't won shit. Joel Embiid is a great player, but what does he fucking want? Nothing. How many times do certain people, like I said, they get all these passes? Joel Embiid, his team got eliminated last year in a series that they should have swept, or at least 1-5. If they get eliminated by the Raptors in the first round, I don't want to know more about Joel Embiid or the process or none of that shit. And we would start expecting some of these MVPs to start winning. Like I said before, Giannis had all this pressure to win. He got it done. I don't want to keep hearing about Nikola Jokic and he ain't got this player or that player. I don't want to keep hearing about Luka Doncic. Look, this is his 4th year. Luka Doncic. Like I said before, LeBron James his 4th year. No matter how you feel about him, he took his team to the NBA Finals. I'm not saying Luka Doncic has to go to the finals at age 23, but damn, we can't keep giving people passes, man. And then other players that come on, Klay Thompson, off after 2 major career-threatening injuries, he got to prove himself in the playoffs. But Luka Doncic doesn't. Get out of here, man.